Now I know you saw the title of this video and you were probably like, WrestlinGifs, you already made a video on 2K14. I made that video when I had less than 500 subscribers, and once that video blew up, my entire channel blew up. The issue is though, I made that video in 2018, and let's just say the quality isn't the best. I sound like a little kid. Hell, I sound like I'm being held hostage in my mom's basement, being forced to talk about 2K14. I wasn't very enthusiastic, so to say. So I thought, why not 1 year later, let's go back and revisit it. Let's do a little remaster, a remake, and let's just gather around and reminisce about WWE 2K14 one more time. It's 2013, Drake just dropped Nothing Was the Same, Daniel Bryan's Yes movement is popping, the PS4 and Xbox One are coming out, life is good, and just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we got one of the greatest wrestling games of all time. So WWE 13 was amazing, the hype for that game was insane, and somehow it lived up to it. We were sitting there playing through the Attitude Era and just having our minds blown, so when it was time for 2K14, it was like, how the hell are they going to follow this up? I mean, they just did a mode on the most beloved era in wrestling. What was next? What could be better and bigger? Then we started getting some trailers, and all you see that in one game we were going to have wrestlers like Macho Man, Randy Savage, John Cena, Goldberg, CM Punk, and Yokozuna all in one game. And then you see the arenas and you're like, wait, that's WrestleMania 20 and that's WrestleMania 9. We were going to get 30 years of WrestleMania, a showcase mode dedicated to the best of WrestleMania, but that wasn't enough. Universe mode was back, the biggest roster ever at that point, and the best roster. Oh yeah, plus a whole mode dedicated to the dead man and his WrestleMania streak. Yeah, remember when that was a thing? Just when we thought 13 was going to be impossible to top, here we were 1 year later back on that bandwagon. We didn't really care it wasn't going to be on next gen, which was actually a blessing. Thank God it wasn't on next gen. But all these years later, this is the last true wrestling game that I could say I personally just loved. The last wrestling game where I spent countless hours playing and using every single feature, playing every single mode. This was the last wrestling game where I was just hooked. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look back at WWE 2K14. But before that, here's a quick little word from the sponsor of this video. So I'm happy to announce that I have partnered up with Topps to share with you guys honestly a pretty cool app. Topps WWE Slam. So growing up, I used to love collecting trading cards. I used to legit have binders filled with trading cards. But now it's 2020, ain't nobody got time for a binder. Instead now on your iOS or Android device, just simply go to the Play Store or the App Store and download Topps WWE Slam. And with that, you can simply begin collecting trading cards on your phone. And legit, these are the most elite WWE cards I have seen in my life. Look at these, the artwork on them are insane. There are even signed cards, yes, signed by the wrestlers themselves for the card holder, countless different series from all the different eras with the most elite artwork. The best part is you can actually trade the cards too. So all I'm saying is if anyone gets a fire John Cena or Eddie Guerrero card, just send it my way. My username is PavWG. And every day you log in, you get cards for simply just opening the app. Free coins, mystery boxes, and wheel spins, and best of all, you get rewards for just simply collecting cards. And it's so cool collecting a rare card and seeing the global count and knowing exactly how rare the card is. But for real, this app is really cool. Like, I can't wait to continue to build up my collection. I already have this pretty cool Cena card, but I want more. And I want this Eddie, and I want this Orton. So download the app and trade it with me. Let's build our collections. The link is in the description. And once again, I just want to say thank you to Topps for sponsoring this video. And now, finally, back to WWE 2K14. This game straight up is amazing. It was the culmination of what Ukes and THQ had been working on for so many years, and here we were at the finale, and we just had mostly everything we could possibly want to play or do in a wrestling game. So you had special guest referee matches if you wanted to, you had King of the Ring tournaments, of course, elimination chambers, inferno matches. This was a time when Hell in a Cell matches were actually fun. Yeah, remember when it wasn't some stiff ass match where it didn't trigger your claustrophobia? Yeah, TLC matches were still a blast to play, just like they had been since 2011. They had so many match types, you could do whatever you wanted with a custom match creator. And then you had the roster, which was at this point without a doubt the greatest roster ever assembled. They somehow topped 13. Now we had so many legends, so many alternate attires, it didn't make sense. It covered so many eras so well, so no matter what era you grew up in, there was something here for you. So whether you're recreating iconic matches or making up dream matches, you're set. Like, you're you're living your best life when you play this game. Add in the fact you had 100 created wrestler slots, the possibilities were endless. But I just want to know, why is Virgil in this game as DLC? Fam, nobody wants to meet the man in real life. Why would we want to pay to play with them in a video game? But nah, it's so awesome having this selection. Now we are kind of spoiled, okay? We have these amazing rosters every year, we're used to this. But back then, when 13 and 14 came out with these huge rosters, it was the best thing ever. Goldberg was finally back, Yokozuna, throwback Randy Orton and Cena, it just goes on. And with the DLC, you legit had the entire NWO. JK, that's impossible. There's no way they can fit that many wrestlers on a disc. And to complement the roster, how about the arena selection? Every single WrestleMania arena, starting from WrestleMania 1, I marked out for this so hard. So many arenas that we never had even seen in the main series before, or arenas that we only had once, and there were so many arenas in this game that we haven't seen since, and they all look so fantastic. It doesn't matter if it's a WrestleMania 24 or WrestleMania 18, they all look amazing, and just having them made me so happy. The more unique arenas, the merrier, and we had all 29 WrestleManias, including a concept WrestleMania 30 arena. Legendary roster, legendary arena selection, legendary match types, and that legendary gameplay was still here. That's why this game is such a top tier wrestling game. This game was so complete and it was such a W. Like I said, everything THQ and Yuke's worked on just coming together for one last hurrah. Everything they had slowly been working on since SVR 2010. And at the end we got this masterpiece, just the best of the last few games combined. Just like 13, the gameplay is buttery smooth, it plays so well. They really perfected the gameplay by 2014. And 12 and 13 were good, they had a few glitches. Okay, a lot of glitches, but now with this, the gameplay was just so ironed out. Did we still have glitches? Did I hate Edge as a kid? Of course, but doing everything is just satisfying. Whether you're reversing moves or flying through the air with a springboard, watching entrances of your favorite wrestlers in beautifully made WrestleMania arenas, everything about this game is fun and satisfying. I just love this game. I love doing catch finishers, I love doing catapult finishers, the new OMG moments, I love the destruction is still there, and you can still have your matches just get hectic and insane. There's barely any restrictions in what you can do, but at the same time, if you want a good old-fashioned classic wrestling match, go ahead. It was such an epic culmination of their work, roster-wise, arena-wise, gameplay-wise, but also the other features like the creation suite, because everything we loved for years carried over. So Create a Wrestler was better than ever, and this was the last game to feature Create a Finisher, the last game to feature Create a Story, which is a mode I miss so much. So yo, go wild out, live your dream matches, go have your crazy storylines. If you want to do WrestleMania 23, HBK versus Cena versus Edge, do it up. Now you don't have to go back to SVR 08, and the match will look legit, and the match will be no doubt a blast to play. Universe mode is still there, and now with 100 created slots for wrestlers and this epic roster, you could sink so many hours into this. It's crazy. Just one long stop universe mode can run for years. That alone should give you enough content for a long time. But if that isn't enough for you, you got 30 years of WrestleMania. The reason why we have such an epic roster and all the WrestleMania arenas, time to go back in history and play classic WrestleMania matches, and man, this is so awesome. First, you got the legendary WWE produced promo videos that pump you up so hard it feels like you're about to go to war. This game made me excited to play Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. What more can I say to showcase its greatness? But just like last year, it's so fun reliving these matches and these moments, especially because I've seen so many of these and they are iconic. Being able to play out Macho Man versus Steamboat, Shawn versus Razor in the ladder match, the Iron Man match, seeing Austin bleed and pass out as Bret Hart turns heel, and so much more. Even if you don't have an attachment to those matches I just mentioned, like I don't, but I know the importance of them and how they're legendary. I wasn't even alive for them. However, when playing them, you know you're playing something special and it makes you want to watch the real matches. Playing through the showcase mode feels like you're watching just one long documentary, and it's such a fun little trip down memory lane no matter what era you belong to. This is just as good as last year's Attitude Era mode. These two are the GOAT showcase modes. No other showcase mode comes even close. My question to you is though, what was your favorite match to play in this showcase mode? Mine has to be Austin versus Bret. That ending was so beautiful in real life, and being able to replay it in this game, it was replicated perfectly and it was just awesome. But how could I forget Streak versus Career recreated in video game form? chef's kiss. 47 matches for you to play out. So universe mode, 30 years of WrestleMania. It's like, okay, Ukes and former THQ employees who worked on this game, respect, you guys held it down. But that wasn't enough. They really wanted to spoil us like they were our sugar daddies. How about another mode? Okay, not a showcase, not universe mode. How about a mode dedicated to the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania, Defeat the Streak, where you go one-on-one with the Undertaker at WrestleMania, and you can either try ending it with someone who never faced Taker before, or take someone like Shawn Michaels or CM Punk and try to get the job done again and change history. But this mode is one of my favorite modes in gaming history, no doubt. So it's one-on-one with the Undertaker at WrestleMania. If that wasn't cool enough for you, how about the fact that the Undertaker is a god, like legendary difficulty on crack? He reverses everything, he does everything. He flies, he uses power moves, he will use weapon if he wants. He does everything. It's legit a recreation of prime WrestleMania Undertaker in a video game. But that's not it. Nah. They gave the Undertaker superpowers and special animations to clap you. Oh, hey, I'm doing pretty good. Look at me. I'm just walking. Don't mind me. Hell's Gate. GG. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Life is fine. I'm gonna beat the Undertaker. Nope. Tombstone. Okay, he's dead. I hit my finisher. What more can I do to this old man? Oh, of course, the lights went out. What a surprise. Just end me. It's such an awesome mode. It's so challenging, but it's so unique and it's just so fun. It's GOAT material. This is S tier. This is legendary. This is the type of mode where you get together with your friends and play and just see which idiot can actually win and which idiots can survive. This is what I want when I say I want wrestling games to think outside the box. Not whatever this is. Please never again. I remember the first time I played this, I was like, yeah, this is going to be easy. How hard could it be? It was not. It definitely was not easy, but eventually you'll get it down. And even though when you know all the tips and tricks to win, add in the other side of the mode where you defend the streak in a slobber knocker mode, this game has it all. Like, I don't know what else to say. This game is so complete, from the Undertaker mode to 30 years of WrestleMania to universe to legendary roster and arena selection. The gameplay is actually good and fun and smooth. The freedom you have, the craziness you can do, it's just perfect. Create whatever you want, create a finisher, create a story for the last time. I don't know what else to say. Is it super similar to 12 and 13? Yes, but there's nothing wrong with that. It was the end of the console's life cycle and they did what they could. They still added stuff, they still made the games meaningful and fun, and at the end of the day, we did have fun with this game. A lot of fun. Like when 2K15 came out, which we're saving that for another video, that shit show, don't even get me started. Everyone was playing this game still. Nobody wanted 2K15. This is a game that you can go back and play right now and you'll just be like, yo, this is just such an awesome game. It was legit the last hurrah. When the SVR series was done, I was scared. I'm like, alright, this is it. I thought I was never gonna have fun playing wrestling games again. I thought it was over, time to grow up. But man, looking back, 12 and 13 and of course 14 held it down. All of the hard work they put in for years, this epic culmination, everything they had built up, it was all here, and it was the last time we got to play it and appreciate it, because after this, everything was almost erased when the jump to next gen happened. They legit tore everything down and started again. The identity of these games were gone. The soul of these games were gone. The magic, the allure, the fun, it was all gone. And they started over when they had such a perfect thing going. It was like they had this marriage with this 7 out of 10 and they were happy and everything was fun and amazing, best marriage ever. But then one day they were like, you know what? I want something that looks better. I want a 9 out of 10. So then they got the divorce and married the 9 out of 10, but then they realized 9 out of 10 wasn't shit, and then the 7 out of 10 was long gone, and all the fun and happiness that came with it. But all I'm saying is, they saw the allure of the graphics, next gen, wow, we're gonna make it so realistic, but by doing that, they lost all the fun and the soul of the series. Imagine if they just kept building on top of this, what could have been? But nah, this was it. This was, like I said, the last true wrestling game that I could say I personally loved. The last wrestling game where I spent countless hours playing and using every feature, playing every mode. This was the last wrestling game where I was just hooked. Yes, did I have fun playing 2K19? I do, but it wasn't like this. I wasn't sitting there playing every single mode, doing everything I could. This game was just perfect and I loved it. And to me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, after this, nothing was the same.